Was wollten Sie mir erzählen?
Leonard Shoulder.
Who?
Leonard Shoulder. You told me you knew him. And promised to tell me more if I bought you a drink. Which I did. So what were you going to tell me?
Eingepennt.
I don't really know the old bugger.
But you said you did.
Oh, aye. No, I know naught about him. No, naught about Leonard Shoulder.
If you say so, maybe he's telling the truth. He's hiding something.
You're hiding something, Mr. Tillett. I don't believe you.
I say a lot of things when I've got the drink in me. I probably just wanted you to buy me an ale.
Oder er wollte mit betrunken das ausplappern, weil da sitzt die Zunge ja manchmal ein bisschen lockerer.
Even if that's the case, it doesn't explain your disappearance.
I don't remember out.
Oh, das könnte auch ein Grund sein. Die Zunge saß locker, weil er betrunken war. Er wollte gerade was ausplappern. Jemand hat es mitbekommen, dass er was ausplappern wollte und hat ihn verschwinden lassen.
What can you tell me about Lord Panswick?
Oh, you've heard of his lordship then?
Yes. Do you know him?
Aye. He comes into the village from time to time, gives sweets to the children, hires young men to work his land. He's well liked around here.
I sense some hesitation, Mr. Tillett.
Well, we kind of have an unspoken agreement with his lordship. He looks after us, provided we leave him alone.
I don't follow.
He likes his privacy.
Some people do.
No one is allowed to visit him.
Do you mean to say that he's a bit eccentric?
No. I've heard people got fired at when approaching his manor uninvited.
Good grief! But is this true?
Well, I won't be the one to find out.
So, you work here?
Aye. Bewley Station Master at your service. Would you like to buy a ticket?
Not just yet, thank you. I understand that some of the locals are not too happy about this new station.
Aye. I'd go as far as saying the whole village.
How long has the station been open for?
About 3 months. We're on the Midland Railway line. This employment's been a saviour for me. If I weren't stood here, I'd be drinking my life away at the pub right now. It's worth the occasional withering look from Cyril and the rest of them.
What does a station master do?
A bit of this and a bit of that.
So, ein bisschen das, ein bisschen dies, ein bisschen das.
As you wish.
My responsibilities here keep me on the straight and narrow, I'll tell you that much. A sense of duty can do wonders for a lost soul.
Indeed. This must be a rather lonesome post to occupy.
Trains pass through here more regularly than you might think, lass.
How's your headache faring?
It feels like a steam engine is driving full pelt in a circle around me skull.
Be sure to drink plenty of water, Mr. Tillett.
Aye. I'll survive.
About last night. You really don't remember where you went last night?
As I say, it's all a blur. I remember needing a piss. Then nothing. Well, you must have missed me when I came out.
I did not. I even went to the gents' toilets to find you.
Oh, aye. A sight for sore eyes.
It was. I checked everywhere, and you were nowhere to be found. The back door leading to the alleyway was blocked from the outside.
Oh, aye?
Yes. You must have exited through that door, Mr. Tillett.
But you just said it were blocked.
There must be an explanation.
My mind has drawn a blank.
Why was the door blocked? Did you block it?
I told you I don't remember. I've naught to say 'cause I remember naught.
Farewell for now.
Den nimmt den ja ganz schön in die Mangel, den Arthur. Aber er ist auch ein komischer Typ. Die lügen sich doch hier alle was zurecht. Oh, die Katze schon wieder. Die Katze und die Krähe, die beiden haben was auch zu verbergen. Jeder hat hier was zu verbergen. Gut, das haben wir alles. Da sind wir wieder hier. So, wenn ich jetzt M drücke, St. Edmund's Church, Hernwood. Können jetzt noch hier rausgehen.
The building is in a dilapidated state.
Wo kommen wir denn hier hin? Ja, wo kommen wir denn da 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 hin? Ja, wo kommen wir denn
A warehouse.
Lagerhaus. Da will ich rein, da liegen doch bestimmt allerhand geile Gegenstände.
A storeroom of some kind. It's rather empty. A storeroom of some...
Durchgreifen und die Tür öffnen.
Royal Mail. Postmaster's residence. This must be the local post office.
Post Office. Immer Angst, dass man hier irgendwie eine Fratze an der Fenster sieht oder so, die einen beobachtet.
I don't think anyone is home.
Generell nicht viele Leute zu Hause. Der Schläger ist immer noch da. Oh! Der Innkeeper ist weg. Ist der etwa in unserem Zimmer? Nee. Wo ist denn der Typ hin? Ich wollte noch mal gucken, ob es neue Dialogoptionen gibt. Vielleicht ist der hier hinten. Weil hier konnte ich ja auch, hier sagt es ja auch, ja, hier sind wir auch gewesen. Ja gut, dann würde ich sagen, gehen wir können halt noch ein paar Leute fragen, wem dieses Necklace gehört. Guck mal hier, gehört Ihnen dieser Handschuh?
Do you recognize this glove?
What are you showing me that for? Does it look like I'd wear something like that?
Ah, gehört Ihnen diese Necklace?
Is this yours?
Oh, that's beautiful. I'd never be allowed such a pretty thing.
So, nein.
Do you recognize this glove?
No. Should I?
Never mind.
Ansonsten würde ich mal den Pater fragen. Diese Halskette gehört, würde doch passen.
Do you recognize this glove?
Fine stitching indeed. An item of some considerable taste.
Indeed.
But I'm afraid I don't recognize it. Why do you ask?
Never mind.
Fine stitching.
I found this necklace inside the church. Do you know who it belongs to?
Many in our congregation wear such things. I'll announce it at the next service.
Do you mind if I keep hold of it until then?
Not at all.
Gut, dann können wir ja aufbrechen.
I'm ready to go to Mr. Shoulder's house.
Excellent. I feel the fresh air will do me well. Follow me.
Hey, darüber geht's zu ihm? Ah, hier ist doch nur Margarets Lookout. An der Church vorbei, am geilen Kuchen. Oh, lecker Kuchen.
Good morning, Mrs. Duplancy. Mrs. Duplancy, this is Thomasina Bateman, a visitor to our parish.
We've already had the pleasure of meeting, Father.
Excellent. Miss Bateman, don't hesitate to try one of Mrs. Duplancy's wonderful cakes.
Yes, I've heard about her famous Bakewell puddings.
I'll be here all day, young lady.
Sobald ich Geld habe, Sie sind der Erste, der was davon bekommt.
Those little whelps have already gobbled up all the gingerbread.
You are doing God's work, Mrs. Duplancy.
He smiles upon us, Father.
Miss Bateman, if you'd like to follow me.
Dann hier hoch bestimmt, nee.
Let's talk of graves, of worms, and epitaphs. Make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes, write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors, and talk of wills.
Shakespeare?
Quite. Which play?
Macbeth würde ich sagen. Hamlet ist zu bekannt. Und wenn es danach geht, müsste Richard den Zweiten wählen.
Magnificent guess, Miss Bateman, but I'm afraid that passage is from
Ah.
Richard's Side. Studying the work of the bard is one of my favorite pastimes. Follow me.
Hier ging's ja doch noch weiter.
Behold, the vast expanse of God's creation. The moors extend as far as the mortal eye can see. Beautiful, is it not?
Irgendwas, ja, weiß ich nicht. Ja, im Auge des Betrachters.
I find them rather desolate.
Really? I disagree. The beauty of God's creation is that it takes so many forms. How can one take in such a view and not have faith? Some look at these moors and think this a godless land. But I tell you, he is found in all domains. The Lord's work is all about us. Tell me, Miss Bateman, do you believe in God?
Oh weh. Oh nein, bitte Spiel, lass mich das nicht entscheiden. Die Wahrheit. Was ist denn aus der Perspektive unserer Protagonistin die Wahrheit? Father Roach seems prepared to hear it. Der scheint echt... das ist voll unangenehm, ein Pater zu sagen, nein, ich glaube nicht an Gott.
I was brought up Anglican. The church was an important part of my early life, Father Roach. But what happened to my father eventually made me question things.
If you don't mind me asking, my child, what happened to your father?
He had an accident when I was very young.
Come along now, Thomasina.
Oh,
Let's
Flashback.
get out of the rain.
Guck mal, Thomasina als Kind.
Remember what I told you, all right? Be a good girl. People are unwell here. They don't want to hear you running about making noise. Understood?
Yes, Mother.
Good. And don't annoy the nurses.
I promise I won't.
Good. Now, let's see your father.
Aber sie sagte doch, der Vater lebt ja später immer noch, ist halt nur ans Bett gebunden. Hier ist sie ja sehr viel jünger, oder habe ich das falsch verstanden?
Mommy is crying.
Oh krass, so ein Flashback.
Mommy?
Nee.
Daddy is sleeping. Daddy, wake up!
Good evening, Mr. Bateman. Hello, little one. You must be Thomasina?
Yes.
My name is Nurse Blaketon. I just need to talk to your mummy for a little bit. I'm sorry to disturb you, Mrs. Bateman. Mrs. Bateman?
Will he ever talk again, Nurse Blaketon?
The doctor is uncertain, Mrs. Bateman. There is the possibility that Mr. Bateman won't regain any movement at all. But we will do our utmost to look after Mr. Bateman here at Ticehurst, ma'am. He will have a nurse by his side at all times, I can assure you.
Fies, okay. Und der liegt immer noch da.
What sort of God would allow this fate to befall such a kind and honest man?
I'm sorry to hear this. God moves in mysterious ways, but he loves us all. Come along now.
Hello?
Ich bin ja hier vorhin gar nicht hingegangen.
Some primitive folk make their home out on the moors. I suggest you keep your wits about you when you are exploring, and don't stray too far from Bewley.
I see. How much farther to Mr. Shoulder's house?
Still quite a walk, I'm afraid, but we'll get to him soon enough. Now then, take a look at this. Legend has it that this cairn has stood here for over 1,000 years.
How remarkable.
The Devil's Toe.
I beg your pardon?
That's what it's called. The Devil's Toe.
Oh, I see.
Come now. Onward.
We walked and walked across that vast, featureless landscape. All the while, Father Roach was whistling away merrily. Just as I had begun to wonder if we were hopelessly lost, a building emerged from the mist. Mr. Shoulder's cottage.
Hier wohnt er also, mit seinen Hühnern.
Unless my memory fails me completely, this is Mr. Leonard Shoulder's house.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
Now, no need to thank me after your providential assistance today. However, I have something to ask you.
Yes?
Please don't tell Mrs. Duplancy about my little scene in the woods. She will only fret. The poor dear woman has enough on her mind as it is.
I shan't mention it.
Thank you.
Guck mal, er will auch, dass es geheim
You better
bleibt.
see if Mr. Shoulder is in.
Okay. Was haben wir denn hier so?
A
Hen.
sweet little hen, plump and well groomed. A
Und
fearsome
ein Rooster.
beast.
Come to kill the rooster.
Mr. Shoulder has stacked blocks of wood neatly beneath this small lean-to.
Very neat and tidy.
The trousers feel damp, freshly hung, or still wet from last night's rain.
So, ich habe hier drauf gedrückt.
The
Die
trousers
Hose.
are freshly...
Oh, der Glove. Ah, er war in der Scheißgasse.
I wonder if it matches the glove I found behind the
Er war dieser Typ, der weggelaufen ist, wie ich gesagt habe. Er hat die Tür blockiert auch.
A woolen undergarment.
Aber warum diese Aktionen?
I've no desire to lug a block of wood about the countryside. This must provide a charming view across the moor.
No sign of life?
None. The window is nice and clean. The dwelling is by no means abandoned.
Er war gestern Nacht an dieser, in der Gasse.
Is Thomasina Bateman here? I'm here in Bewley as discussed.
Maybe try again. His hearing probably isn't the best at his age.
Mr. Shoulder, are you home? It appears Mr. Shoulder is not at home. Curses.
Das ist ja ganz schön blöd.
Perhaps you could try the handle.
It's locked.
Verschlossen ist auch noch.
A carved stone has been affixed to the door. I think it depicts a crescent moon. Father, what do you make of this?
A peculiar adornment. I've not seen any like this in Bewley. Though it does remind me of a passage by the bard himself.
Oh nein,
The
jetzt.
very error of the moon. She comes nearer earth than she was wont, and makes men mad.
Sehr schön. Merchant of Venice, Othello, Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet?
A fine tragedy. But that particular passage is from the great Othello. I'm afraid your knowledge of the bard is somewhat lacking.
It's been a while since I've read his work, Father.
Never mind.
Nicht jeder kennt Shakespeare in- und auswendig.
I'm rather fond of this colour. Perhaps Mr. Shoulder and I share similar taste.
Scheibe
No sign of
einschlagen.
any movement. The window
So.
is much too high up to reach.
Kann das
Come
nicht
on, wait to meet you,
akzeptieren.
Mr. Shoulder. Please open the door.
Ah! Oh ne, sie probiert nur die Tür.
Mr. Shoulder continues to prove himself elusive.
Mal aufmachen. Das ist doch scheiße, Mr. Shoulder. Ich weiß doch, dass Sie in der Gasse waren da. Sie haben Arthur verschwinden lassen oder Arthur war schon weg und er hat die Tür blockiert oder so. Keine Ahnung. Ey, vielleicht ist hier irgendwo... Vielleicht ist hier irgendwo ein Schlüssel drin.
That glove looks familiar.
Ja?
I wonder if it matches the glove I found behind the plough and furrow.
Kann ich die abgleichen so?
The gloves are a pair. Does this mean Mr. Shoulder was in the alley last night? Why didn't he come inside to see me?
Er war dieser komische Typ.
Possibly.
I'd suggest you call back later, my child. I myself must make my way back home. I have some matters to attend to at the church. Shall I accompany you back to Bulle?
Tja, go ahead, Father. Thank you. Wir können uns noch ein bisschen umgucken, aber ich glaube, hier ist nichts.
Let's go.
As I say, my child, Mr. Shoulder will make himself known. Do not lose faith.
I'm rather frustrated by this situation.
Now. Things move at a slower pace out here. Something you may not be so accustomed to. Come now, Miss Bateman.
Well, Mr. Shoulder, you've brought me to Bulle, and now you're nowhere to be found. As we trudged silently back to Bulle across the
Ich dachte, er guckt jetzt noch gruselig durch die Fenster. Ich habe irgendwie Angst vor diesen Fenstern.
I would find Hobb's Barrow myself, with or without Mr. Shoulder. The train! That must be Kenneth.
Kenneth?
My assistant.
I see. Well, Miss Bateman, I really must attend to some other matters. I hope Mr. Shoulder finds his way to you.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
My pleasure. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Enough Shakespeare.
Enough Shakespeare.
I see you tire of my quotations.
Oh, Achievement, The Fool. Mann, ich lieg doch immer nur falsch. Das ist doch nur ein Ratespiel. Oder ich sag jedes Mal Romeo und Julia. Irgendwann muss es stimmen. Hey, wir gehen Kenneth abholen. Da können wir eigentlich über Quick Travel gehen. Railway Station. Hier ist kein Zug.
Where is Kenneth?
Da ist der schon weggegangen. Arthur?
He was supposed to wait for me at the station.
So, er sollte sogar warten.
I'm looking for my assistant, Kenneth.
Oh, aye?
His train has arrived.
Not a single soul disembarked the last train, Miss Bateman.
Oh, ist keiner ausgestiegen. Ich brauch doch Geld für den Kuchen.
Was that not the midday train from London by way of Derby?
Aye, it were. Mr. Price were here, unloaded a few crates.
But no Kenneth.
Not a soul. Hold on. One of them crates had your name on it, Miss Bateman. A great big one it were, with...
Also hätte er doch im Zug sein sollen. Also unsere Sachen sind im Zug.
Playing at sending my equipment, but not himself. Curses.
Läuft ja alles wunderbar. Curses.
Where is my crate now?
Mr. Price took away all the crates on his cart.
Who?
Mr. Price, he's the
Ah, den Wagen haben wir gesehen auf dem Market Square.
Where can I find Mr. Price?
He lives above the storeroom, just north of the plough and furrow. You'll see it. There's a Royal Mail plaque on the wall.
Thank you. Where can I find Mr.
He lives above the... You'll see it.
Thank you. I'm looking for Hobb's Barrow.
Hobb's Barrow.
It's why Leonard Shoulder invited me to Bulle. He thought I might like to excavate it.
Oh, aye. I heard about a Hobb's Barrow somewhere out there. There's some old stories around it.
What stories?
Eile Geschichte.
Mr. Tillett, please. This is important.
I'm awfully sorry, Miss Bateman. I'll try to remember. If he invited you here, then I'm sure Mr. Shoulder will tell you all about it.
That's if I ever get to meet him.
I'm sure you will.
Naja, er hat sich irgendwie weggeschlichen.
I found Mr. Shoulder's house, but he wasn't home.
Don't worry. You'll find him.
Farewell for now.
Ta-ra.
Hey, wir können es war schon der richtige Zug. Unsere Sachen waren im Zug, das ist eine neue Option hier. Aber Kenneth ist nicht da. Wahrscheinlich, weil er von einem Zombie gegessen wurde währenddessen. Post Station. Wir können einfach mal hier Village Square. Und dann war das hier. Ach, guck mal.
That must be the postmaster's storeroom. He looks a little chirpier than your average Bewley resident. Hello.
Good day. I haven't seen you in Bewley before.
I'm just visiting.
Lovely. It's
Lovely.
nice to see a new face. We don't get many visitors. My name's Henry. Henry Long.
Nice to meet you, Henry. Thomasina Bateman.
Wonderful. What a treat.
You seem in a good mood, Mr. Long.
It's just lovely to see a new face. Where are you from, Miss Bateman?
He seems harmless, aber diese harmlosen, die sind ganz gefährlich.
Bakewell.
Not too far away then. I've never been myself.
Have you travelled much, Mr. Long?
Why on earth would I ever want to leave Bewley? I have all I need here. I were born in this very home I stand in front of. Bewley is in my blood. Why would I ever want to leave? Especially now I can meet new folk thanks to the railway line.
Your opinion of the railway station differs widely from your fellow townsfolk, Mr. Long. I've not met anyone particularly keen on it.
That railway line is the start of a new era for Bewley. Mark my words. There's much to protect here, but we need new blood. I hope that some of you visitors will actually stay here permanently.
Why is that?
So I have new friends to talk to.
Gruselig.
Some people here don't want any new friends. Cyril Farnaby, the miserable old sod, is the worst offender.
Ja gut, der hat überhaupt gar keine Freunde und der will auch, dass es so bleibt.
I've had the pleasure of meeting Cyril. He really dislikes the railway station.
Absolutely miserable he is. I've tried to convince him many times that the station will help Bewley. He just doesn't understand.
I met him last night in the Plough and Furrow.
Aye, the scene of our many debates. Blimey. I could go for an ale right now, actually.
Can I buy you a drink?
Really?
No. Wait.
Ja,
Do you
überhaupt
think
kein
Mr.
Geld.
Kemp will let me open a tap?
Perhaps. You could always ask him. I shouldn't leave anyway. Mr. Price is relying on me to keep watch of his storeroom.
I'm looking for Mr. Price, the postmaster.
Oh, Mr. Price, my lovely neighbour. I'm afraid you've just missed him.
Curses.
I saw him wheeling a large crate into his storeroom just there.
It must be mine. I really need it.
Have a look through the window to see if it's yours.
Where did Mr. Price go?
I don't know. The man were in a hurry. I know he has family in Bakewell.
That's miles away. Did he leave by foot?
No, by horse. He must be a few miles down the road by now.
Oh, das ist so ihr Ding. Curses.
When will Mr. Price be back?
Das ist schön, dass wir gelogen haben, dass wir aus Bakewell kommen, wo er auch herkommt.
Could be a few days.
How infuriating.
I told him I'd keep watch of his storeroom, and I'm a man of my word, Miss Bateman.
Wir müssen ihn ablenken,
From this spot.
damit wir unseren eigenen Kram klauen
I'm
können.
looking for HOB'S Barrow.
One of those old burial hills.
Yes. Do you know where it is?
Believe it or not, I haven't set foot on the moor since I were a child.
Why is that?
I've got all I need right here in Bewley. And we're all truly blessed with the railway station, which brings us lovely new faces.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
Aye, funny old fellow. I hear he lives way out on the moor somewhere.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not for a long while now that you mention it. Why do you ask?
It's a long story, but I was to meet him in Bewley. He invited me here.
Well, I must thank him when I see him for inviting such an enchanting young woman.
You flatter me, Mr. Long. Goodbye.
Don't be a stranger.
Also nicht, sie findet ihn ganz nett, ich finde ihn super gruselig. Dann gucken wir mal, ob das unsere Kiste ist.
There's my crate. Kenneth always ties a red ribbon to it. I can see an envelope tucked behind the ribbon. Perhaps it can help explain Kenneth's absence. I'm going to have to get in there.
Tja, aber wie? Mr. Long ab.